structured breakdown of one of the world's most incredibly diverse travel destinations, well, you're in the exact right place. In today's explainer, we're going to unpack Sri Lanka's ultimate travel spots. We're taking the island's diverse treasures and organizing them so perfectly that, honestly, by the end of this, your future travel itinerary is basically going to write itself. Okay, let's dive right into this. What is the absolute best beach in Sri Lanka? I mean, with literally miles and miles of stunning coastline, picking just one sounds kind of impossible, doesn't it? Well, the Times newspaper actually crowned one specific spot as the undisputed best beach in the entire country. We have the answer for you, but I'm going to go ahead and save that spectacular reveal for the very end of our journey. Now, instead of just tossing a random, scattered list of places at you, we're grouping these 10 incredible spots by the unique experiences they offer. We'll be walking through, discovering Sri Lanka, ancient fortresses and cities, scenic highlands and treks, southern coastal escapes, wildlife and jungle safaris, and finally, that ultimate beach reveal.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, Discovering Sri Lanka, a true treasure trove of diverse landscapes.
We're going to efficiently cover 10 completely unforgettable destinations today. And you know, what makes Sri Lanka a literal treasure trove is how wildly and rapidly the environment shifts. In a single trip, you can transition from exploring the ruins of ancient cities straight to staring out over these stunning, lush landscapes. Whether you're a major history buff wanting to step back in time, or a traveler looking for pure coastal relaxation, this island has a specific world perfectly tailored just for you.
Moving right along to Section 2, Ancient Fortresses and Cities. These are your UNESCO World Heritage Sites.
The 5th century. Yeah, that is how old our first spot, Sigiriya, actually is. This ancient rock fortress is no joke. It requires a genuinely steep, challenging climb to reach the top. But the reward for all that effort? You get to see stunning centuries-old frescoes, beautiful ancient gardens, and these breathtaking, panoramic views from the very top of the rock. It's totally worth it.
Now, what's really interesting here is comparing two totally different ancient wonders. On one side, you have the physical heights and military isolation of Sigiriya, that giant rock fortress. On the other side, we have Anuradhapura. And this isn't just a single fortress, it's an entire ancient city that was once the very center of Buddhism in Sri Lanka. So here, instead of scaling a massive rock, you're wandering through sprawling ruins, exploring deep spiritual temples, and gazing up at the massive Jetavana Stupa. It's two completely different ways to experience the island's deep history.
Let's pick up the pace and head into Section 3, Scenic Highlands and Treks. We're talking the Central Highlands and some epic mountain views. First up in the Highlands is the incredibly charming hill station of Yala. Guys, this place is an absolute gem. You can take scenic walks right through the famous tea plantations or hike up to Little Adams Peak. But perhaps the most iconic experience here is the railway route. It's widely considered one of the most beautiful train rides in the entire world, taking you right over the incredible 9-arch bridge. And here is a fun little local tip. If you happen to be standing there and see a train passing over that bridge, it means you're going to have great luck. Now, for those of you wanting a more demanding trek, conquering Big Adams Peak in Radhapura basically happens in 3 phases. First off, you actually need to start your climb early at night. Second, you'll be trekking for about 4 hours. But you're not just out in nature. Along the way, you're walking past historic temples and shrines, which adds this incredible cultural weight to the physical challenge. And third, you reach the summit just in time to witness an absolutely unforgettable dawn breaking over the surrounding mountains and forests.
Let's head down to the water for Section 4, Southern Coastal Escapes. Bring on the sun, sand, and history.
Much like those ancient cities we just talked about, the southern coast offers some pretty contrasting vibes. Take Unawatuna. It's bustling, filled with golden sand, clear waters, and coral reefs that are just perfect for snorkeling. It also features Jungle Beach, which is a spot that maybe 10 years ago only the locals knew about, but recently it's exploded into a huge attraction thanks to Instagram. On the flip side, if you want the exact opposite vibe, you've got to check out Dickwella. Located about 22 kilometers east of Matara, it's way quieter and so laid back. The defining feature here is the traditional stilt fishing that you can watch right along the coast at sunrise and sunset. It's magical.
And you know, this coastal region brilliantly illustrates the blend of old and new. Let's look at the year 2004. We've talked a lot about 5th century fortresses, but the famous Japanese Peace Pagoda, located in the town of Rumasala near Unawatuna, is quite modern. It was built relatively recently, in 2004, by the Japanese Buddhist order Nippon-zan Myohoji. And its specific purpose? To promote global peace and harmony among all peoples and cultures.
So let's keep moving along the coast and see how this builds out the whole experience. Listen, no trip down south is truly complete without visiting the historic coastal city of Gale. It's totally unique because of its stunning Dutch colonial architecture. The absolute centerpiece that you have to see is the Gale Fort, which is another UNESCO World Heritage Site, packed with charming boutiques and cafes. But beyond just the history, Gale features these incredibly lively markets and a massively thriving local art scene, with amazing galleries showcasing local artists.
Time to get a little wild in Section 5, Wildlife and Jungle Safaris, where we get up close with nature.
If you are a wildlife enthusiast, Yala National Park is absolutely your ultimate destination. You jump into a safari vehicle, and you can literally spot leopards, majestic elephants, crocodiles, and a massive variety of bird species, right there in their natural habitats. But what makes Yala so uniquely Sri Lankan is that right in the middle of this wild nature park sits the Sithilpawa Rock Temple. It's an archaeological site dating all the way back to the 2nd century BCE. Talk about nature and ancient history perfectly combined, right?
And finally, here we are at Section 6, the ultimate beach reveal, the Times top pick. Remember that big question from the very beginning of the explainer? Well, the best beach in Sri Lanka, according to the Times newspaper, is Mirissa. Yep, Mirissa is this absolutely beautiful fishing village located right on the southern coast, and it is world-renowned for its stunning stretches of sand and mesmerizing, crystal-clear turquoise waters. So the crucial point is, why exactly did it win this title? It essentially comes down to a perfectly balanced mix of three things. First off, it offers world-class whale watching. Visitors can take boat tours to see actual blue whales, sperm whales, and dolphins up close in their natural habitat. That's just incredible. Second, it's highly accessible for surfing, boasting multiple surf schools for everyone from total beginners to seasoned experts. And finally, it's all about that relaxed vibe. The area is packed with laid-back beachside cafes and bars, making it literally the absolute perfect place to just unwind and soak in the tropical atmosphere. Wow, okay, so we've covered ancient 5th century fortresses, misty highland tea plantations, bustling coastal art scenes, wild leopard safaris, and literally the ultimate turquoise beach. So I've got to leave you with this question. Which side of Sri Lanka will you explore first? The options are vast, and the adventures here are endless. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.